So we got here, guys, because basically this video right here, it's called The Dark Truth Mainstream Media Didn't Tell You About Breonna Taylor. And in this video, guys, I break down the uncomfortable truths that, mainstream media did not tell you guys about Breonna Taylor. I broke down the, the New York Times video on the situation. I break down the case. I go through the case file, okay? If you guys go on LouisvillePolice.org, they actually have all the documents of the case on here. And I just kind of went line by line with y'all on the case, and ended up where basically, the police officers, some of the police officers that were involved in drafting the search warrants, and one that was involved in the actual search warrant itself, ended up getting charged federally. However, let me make this extremely clear for all you guys right now, because this video got everyone all triggered. Oh my God, Byron, you're so fucked up, blah, blah, blah. Make this extremely clear for all you snowflakes out there, all right? Number one, Breonna Taylor did not deserve to die. No one deserves to die in their own home with the circumstances that occurred. However, we got to deal with the realities here. Breonna Taylor was a criminal, guys, okay? Give you guys a quick little recap on what happened last time. Okay, let's break this thing down again. She was dating a guy named Jamarcus Glover, okay? This guy, his nickname, AKA El Chapo, was in and out of prison, had several felony warrants. He was trafficking drugs all over the area, okay? In Louisville, Kentucky. It's in Kentucky, okay? He was a high-level drug trafficker. The police department was looking at him and had developed a significant amount of probable cause on him, okay? Not only did they identify him, but they identified several of his stash houses. They identified other conspirators in the drug trafficking organization. And Breonna Taylor was a member of this organization. She was essentially a courier, moving money and helping him with looking out for drugs. And he would go to her house to do drops, okay? Now, with that said, the police, okay, lied in one of the affidavits, which in this case is going to be this bad boy right here, okay? This document right here, which I'm going to share with you guys, the search warrant. We're going to break this down, by the way, too, in a little bit more detail. But this search warrant right here, okay? And you guys can see here, Detective Joshua C. James, who's actually one of the people that got indicted in this case. In this search warrant, apparently, some of the stuff here was not factual. Okay, now here's the thing I want to say. How the hell am I going to know that, right? If I read from all the other stuff that I read in this case file, which this is an extensive case file, by the way, guys. This is page 135. Look at all this paperwork here, right, that they had on Jamarcus Glover, right, where they identified jail calls. They identified Breonna Taylor on the phone calls, talking to him, talking about hiding money for him, his drug trafficking proceeds, bailing him out of jail, okay? There was an extensive investigation on Breonna Taylor. So though she did not deserve to go the way she did, there is no disputing she was 100% a member of this drug trafficking organization and was a criminal, guys, okay? And not to mention, don't forget that the police got onto her originally because she rented a vehicle, okay, that led to the death of an individual, okay? That's how this all started. That's how they even got a hold of her. Since 2016, they were looking at her, okay? A guy was gunned down, right? That was involved in criminal activity. And the vehicle, right, the suspect vehicle that was used to kill that individual was rented by Breonna Taylor, okay? And she was boyfriends or a girlfriend of Jamarcus Glover, who was a drug trafficker guy, a drug trafficker, higher level, was driving interstate to procure the drugs and coming back to Louisville to distribute, had several trap houses under his control, and she was helping him throughout the way. They observed her on surveillance. They observed her on poll cameras. They observed her being a lookout. They observed her holding money onto him. They have jail calls, everything. She was a criminal. Fuck your feelings, period. She was a criminal. Does that mean she deserved to die? Absolutely not. However, we're not going to sit here and make her a saint like the rest of mainstream media wants to do anytime someone is killed. Listen, man, if you're a criminal, you're a criminal. All right? That does not mean you deserve to die. However, we cannot sit here and not call a spade a spade. She was a criminal, guys. All right? And this entire case file shows that. Overwhelmingly, by the way. If you guys watch that breakdown, this breakdown was how long? for almost 5 hours long. I go through the whole case. I go through a significant amount of the case is going through the jail calls between her and Jamarcus Glover. That in itself is ridiculous. They talk about criminal activity in detail on the jail calls, guys. On the jail calls. They have the transcripts in here. All right? And the scary part is they don't even have all the calls on here. All right? But this is all the stuff that they had on her. All right? So, the search warrant, right? If you draft up, and I talked about this in detail, but let me tell you guys what a search warrant is. Basically, a search warrant is when you search a residence, okay, you have to write something called an affidavit in support of a search warrant, okay? That affidavit, guys, is administered under oath. You have to go to the judge and swear everything in the affidavit is true and correct to the best of your knowledge, okay? And if it's not accurate or stuff isn't true or correct, right, and you willfully, right, and you willfully omit information or you lie, yes, that is perjury. That's a lie. You deserve to go to jail 100%. I'm not saying that the officers that perjured the search warrant here didn't deserve to go to prison. But what I am saying is that she was 100% a criminal, okay? It's just that these officers did a sloppy job of doing this case and getting the paperwork correctly.